Here's why you can't start or scale your e-com brand. Are you feeling stuck with your e-com store? So whether you're pre-revenue, you're focused on launching your brand, or you're up and running, but you just can't seem to get any traction, I've got the solution for you right here. Let me hazard a guess, first and foremost, at how you're feeling. So if you're pre-revenue, you're probably frustrated, constantly worrying about how you're going to make money, or anxious to get things moving, but just something seems to stop you. On the other side, if you are already up and running, you're making sales, but now you feel like you're banging your head against the brick wall to try and figure out how to maintain and scale, but you've got literally no idea what to work on. So you turn up, you do the same thing every day, but without any improvements in revenues. Now, to diagnose this, I would say this can be broken down into two specific areas. First and foremost is personal, and the second of all is business. So let's get into the personal first, because this is arguably the most important. Now, the personal problem side of things, a mentor taught me a very valuable lesson on personal problems and how they impact your business. The quote was that you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that reflect as business problems. So things such as disorganization, procrastination, distraction, general laziness, or just like lack of attention to detail. These are all habits, and therefore, from my perspective, these are actual choices that you're making every day. The thing is, if you're blaming your ADHD or the weather, like it's not, it's you, okay? Carl Jung had a very good quote on this matter, and it said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will dictate your life and you'll call it fate. And this just highlights the importance of understanding and integrating your conscious mind, or your unconscious mind rather. For example, like, until you bring these hidden thoughts and feelings into your conscious awareness, they will constantly influence your life. They make you feel like it's just fate, or again, everything's outside of your control. You have to capture yourself in these moments. It's all about your patterns of existence. And generally, to change anything, the first step is always awareness. It always starts with awareness. And there's the physical elements. And again, all of these require some level of effort and sacrifice. But the three pillars that I'm going to focus on to start with on the personal problems are diet, exercise, and sleep. Now, these are the cornerstones of almost pretty much every single high-performing entrepreneur. If you're able to get these right, literally almost anything else or everything else becomes 10x easier. But to get them in order, you have to exercise discipline. Another good quote, Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom. But again, we don't need to overcomplicate it. Like, this is what I do. Again, I can only speak and teach from personal experience, and these are my hygiene standards. Like, they're literally non-negotiable. So if we look at training, for example, I walk at least 1 or 2 hours every day. While I'm walking, I'm listening, I'm learning, I'm reflecting. I also have a gym session every day, or at least 4 or 5 times a week. My diet, high protein, no matrix food, so like no processed carbs, plenty of fruit and vegetables. In sleep, I'm in bed by 10, I'm asleep by 12, I'm up at 8, literally religiously. And it literally really is that simple. Like, the asymmetric upsides of having these dialed in are countless. Like, for example, like, let's look at sleep. You have better sleep, you have more energy, you have better decision making, your recovery's on point, you have the ability to lock in and literally work for like 16, 18 hours a day if you need to. Or your diet, you're going to have abundant energy, you're going to be feeling good, your body's going to be in shape. Again, that links perfectly to training, so your self-confidence is going to be through the roof, your self-esteem is high, you have boundless energy, and people actually respect you more if you train, if you look good. It's all about the way you carry yourself. And this is just the basic fundamentals, okay? Like, as a side point, I mentioned when I'm walking, I'm learning. And like, learning is super, super high up the priority list for fixing your business problems. Why? Because as an e-com entrepreneur, you're like a mind entrepreneur, okay? That you're effectively paid for making sound business decisions. And this means that you need to invest time in your own learning and development, and also your network as well. And to act on all of this, the easy way to bring it all together is to set up and map out a routine. And for me, routine equals results. It reduces the amount of decisions that I need to make every day, which means my mental energy, it's literally centered, like pretty much focused wholly on my business. I'm not thinking about what I'm having for lunch, or what time I'm going to bed, or where I'm going to the gym, or what I'm going to do at the gym. Like, just taking this back to first principles, the lesson is simple, okay? The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And our habits generally tell us who we are. And like how we do one thing, it often tells us a great deal about how we do everything, okay? And the way to solve for this is just to have high, irrefutable standards. And remember, James Clear had it right in his book Atomic Habits. It's basically that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. So if you fix these systems, literally take a step back and watch your business take off. So that's the personal side of things. Now let's look at the business problems. So again, let me just get into this mindset. So your sales are stagnating, you've got no idea, literally no idea how to scale, your revenue's plateauing or it might be tanking, and you're just feeling worried and sick, or you're just thinking that you might lose the business and have to start over again. Or you might be doing okay, but you just don't know what to work on. You have no idea what your high value activities or IGTs, by IGTs I mean your high income generating tasks, you don't know what they are, which means every day is probably looking the same, and as a direct result your revenues are too. Okay, so the solution, I have a very simple heuristic for this in terms of like knowing what to do and what to work on, and it's this one liner: whatever hinders your task becomes your task. And this is literally how I built my own 7-figure supplement brand. It's just a series of small fixes, tweaks, patches, and projects that I chipped away at over years to allow compounding to kick in. You see, like the store, the business you see today, it's all stored energy. It's the sum total of 10 years of small little tweaks and daily improvements. But you have to be aware of at least 2 critical factors, all right, with this, because you can't take your foot off the gas. First one is technology moves at the speed of light, and it evolves, it changes all the time. For example, the UI is different, OS is upgraded, tech gets phased out, new functionalities are added, algorithms work differently, different content or creative platforms work better or worse. So this means to succeed, you need to be like fully immersed in the game. Like it's not a set it and forget it strategy. Like you physically have to show up and be at the forefront of your business because it's an ever-changing landscape. You can't just like set it and forget it. And then the second part of that is that entropy is real. You can't just set and forget things because everything degrades or diminishes over time. So you always need to be updating, refreshing, testing new approaches. Like this is how you don't get left behind. So just bringing this all together to get your business off the ground or scale your sales, we first start with the internal or the personal work. Remember, so below, so above. Okay, so inside, so on the outside. And we assess like how are we spending our time, our energy, what are we working on? Success in e-com, it can be like encapsulated in one truth. This is it, right? Secret to everything. It doesn't have to be specifically for e-com as well, just in general. Like winning for me is just consistency over time. Stick at things, don't quit, and you're almost guaranteed to win. And the flip side to that is don't expect it to be easy, fast, or smooth. Be grateful for the challenges because you will grow through them if you don't quit. I think business is a deeply spiritual, emotional, it's like a fast track personal development because you're in it and it's all encapsulating. So just try and enjoy it a little bit, embrace it. Try and enjoy every stage, whether you're starting or you're scaling, and just see it for what it is. And again, take a step back. Sometimes this is where having a mentor is good because they call you out on your shadow parts or the parts that you don't see or the behaviors that you elicit all of the time but you're not aware of. Sometimes partners are good for this as well, whether that's like a relationship partner or a business partner. And just be receptive and be open to taking on that feedback. This is how you progress. It sounds a bit backwards because you're probably looking for some technical or tactical switch or one thing to change that's going to solve everything. But guys, it doesn't exist. Bro, it doesn't exist. It is all about consistency over time, showing up, doing the internal work. The internal work gives you more energy, you're more focused, you're able to do better work, your bandwidth is focused on your high income generating tasks. But to do that, you need to understand what those tasks are, and then of course you need to execute on them, and then you need to layer in time on top of that. Like this, literally, this is the way, okay? So pay attention, implement. Don't just watch this and then go back to whatever you're doing anyway. Stop the scroll, get back to work, let's get it.